For years now, we've told you that Tiana's Bayou adventure was a disaster in the making. That day is now finally here, and the public is beginning to let Disney hear from them, because they are now realizing what we have said for so long. For Disney folks, I'm here to tell you, this is perhaps their darkest day yet, and that's really saying something. But don't go away, for we'll show you why, and we'll show you the rising tide of anger now bubbling up for the removal of the rabbit. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are so happy to have you today. And we are joined by Ron E. Bradley of Follow the Bradley's Fun, as well as Marvin, the movie monster. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
Having a great day. Folks, click the like button as we dive in. The avalanche of disgust at Disney is now at extreme levels we've never seen before. Listen to me, folks. This is bigger than the... I hate to say this. It's bigger than the Gina Carano situation. It's bigger.
Wow.
Is it on par with Star Wars, with Last Jedi? I think it actually is, and I will explain why in just a moment. This is such a huge negative reaction from the public at large, because Splash Mountain is the most beloved ride in the world. It still exists in Tokyo Disney. And what they've replaced it with is an absolute disaster. Disney has released the ride-thru video, and folks out there are saying, Disney's taking it to the influencers. It's like, no, Disney's never done this before. The reason they're doing this is because even the influencers, even the shills, even the pixie dusters, when they ride this, Disney knows those are probably going to be very negative videos, because the shills, they want to be on Disney's side, but they're facing a public disgust like we've never seen. I want to show this real quick, guys. The reason we're watching this on Jonas J. Campbell's Twitter account says Tiana's Bayou Adventure has done several in-show exits today. This was the first day that Tiana's Bayou Adventure was running normal previews, not previews for the average person, but for Disney execs and for a few other individuals. It's under the control of Walt Disney Imagineering right now, not under Park Ops. They can't keep it running. It's in that bad of a shape, and it's not even started yet. They had to exit people off the ride. Now, folks, we're going to show you the video of the ride-through, and we're going to critique it, and we're going to assert very strongly right now to the House of Mouse, this is fair use. We are going to watch this, and we are going to analyze it, and we are going to put it through a review, and fair use declared. We'll see what they say about it, but we'll be back to this. Not that many people have figured out that this is out there yet, and that's why it's only got 312,000 views, but it's already being ratioed. More negatives than positives, and this is going to explode over the next couple of days as people discover this, simply because Disney Parks is not as big a YouTube channel as other parts of Disney. So it's not getting the kind of attention of a movie trailer. But before we watch the video at all, guys, I want us to read the comments, because the audience out there needs to understand that what we've been saying for years now, it's all true. All of it, to borrow from Han. Here are the comments. And we're not selecting, folks. We're not curating. These are literally, we're just going to read them as they come through. Disney releasing their own ride point of view is wild. Disney, that's as good as it's going to get. That's the comment that you've got from here on out. Hang on to it. The greatest missed opportunity in Disney Parks history is to leave out Facilier and not have Are You Ready playing while going up the lift hill for the final drop.
I thought that was for sure something that was going to happen. I had that in my mind from the second they announced that was going to be all Shadow Man stuff, and like you're going up and there's like the shadows on the walls are going to be moving, and like, are you ready? Like, it was going to be insane, and they didn't do any of it.
But Marvin, we've been reporting here that was not going to happen, and we've had the goods, I suppose, unfortunately. Reading all the comments, I'm so glad I'm not alone in thinking how utterly boring and visually uninteresting this is. Rest in peace, Splash Mountain. You died for nothing. Regarding the story, let's get you to the party. It reminded me of Disney's worst ride in history, Superstar Limo. Let's get you to the premiere. Ride showcases all the issues of modern Imagineering. Expensive animatronics take the place of well-populated scenes, lots of dead space with nothing to look at, overly sanitized story with no conflict, drama, or tension. Folks, we're not curating this. This is the public now, the normals out there, the normies, the non-pixie dusters, they're watching this. This is the public reaction. This is what we've been telling you the public reaction would be. Let's make you big because the bigger you are makes the bigger splash at the party has to be the worst line in the entirety of Disney. Rest in Peace Splash Mountain just lost all racist connotations and has just been confirmed to represent the replacement of greatness by mediocrity. You'll be missed as one of the last masterpieces of classic Imagineering. I'm sorry, but there is no coherent story, no suspense or sense of danger, no sense of danger or thrill. I wish that they'd added Dr. Facilier to the ride, especially for the big drop. It would have been so much better.
Mm-hmm.
The technology improved, the creativity backpedaled. Hard pass. So disappointed in Disney. They distorted great ride and gave us a poorly themed reskin with a confusing story music that will never be memorable. What a shame they ruined it. Folks, again, we're not curating this. And guess I'll have you comment in just a moment. This is the worst thing Disney has done in at least recent memory, at least up until The Last Jedi. Disney, your guests have a sense of ownership and pride for attractions. This doesn't cut it. Could have digged a little deeper into the story. Am I the only one disappointed with the storyline? It seems so random. I feel they could have done so much more with this. Splash Mountain had to die for this. Ron, are you shocked at the responses here?
No, no, I'm not shocked. I mean, it's here's the thing. I've been out of the parks, and I've been documenting this for weeks now, about 6 weeks, as we've been leading up to the opening of this, because I'm curious. The people that are out there, as far as those people that love Disney, want this ride, want it to work, they're so enthusiastic, and I'm happy for them. And I
don't think there's many of those left, Ron.
No, and that's what I'm saying. There's two, specifically two that I'm counting. But
I've never seen this. I've never seen this percentage of comments on anything negative.
No, what I'm saying is these are people that are at the parks. I'm going out there to document it more for historical purposes.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going on. There are some people that are out there. They're there daily, and they're documenting it because a different generation, by the way, pretty much knew nothing about the backstory of Splash Mountain. Fine. But my point is that the general public, first of all, those people walking by, they don't really care. They wish the ride was open because they want something else to ride, and it's hot, and they want water. Okay, that is going to be a thing. The ride, as far as without story, take away the story, and it's still a water ride that's going to get you wet, that will cool you down in heat. Now, with the story, I think most people, honestly, there are a lot of people. Disney's not very busy these days. The Magic Kingdom is not particularly busy. Okay, so I think a lot of people are just generally done, and they see stuff like this, and it just kind of reemphasizes to them why they're not going. And
Ron, the Navi River journey, I think it has a deeper story than this ride, and we'll show that to folks in just a moment.
I would agree, and it looks like they took elements from Navi River and just plopped it right into this, to be honest.
With the tremendous number of greater likelihood of technical failure, and they can't even keep the ride open on day one under the direction of WDI with it being brand new. One of the things that I would say about
Kylo Ren breaking down all the time over there in Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance is still down half the time.
Yeah.
One of the things that I would say about this ride too is I actually think that this is so bad that it may get the harmonious treatment. And I want to get you guys give me your thoughts on that before we watch the video. I think that this ride could be so poorly received that Disney has to take it down and spend another $100 million to make it better, because this is awful. This is Journey into Imagination, except worse.
I honestly don't think they will backpedal on this, just based on the sole reason of it was the optics of it was they were replacing a quote unquote racist ride with a ride featuring a black main character, and because of that, they're not going to backpedal.
Well, they can keep it Tiana.
They'll keep it Tiana, but they'll have to improve it. It's a mess.
This is
maybe they'll have to add more stuff to it. I think the biggest sin here is the bigger you are, the bigger you splash. I thought they were going to go with that classic Mama Odie line. He will walk into the Library of Congress. He will smash the Constitution with a baseball bat.
For those of you out there wondering, that the voice actress behind Mama Odie lost her ever-loving mind, Jennifer Lewis, and attacked basically 60% of America as being just horrid people. She's insane. Let me read just a few more of
Not
these
one.
for fun. You will never be Splash Mountain. Disney once made a haunted mansion with 999 souls. They've now created an entire mountain without one. That's good.
Oh,
This is empty, barren, joyless, no story, incredibly sad. They tried to please everyone. They pleased no one. I ain't even going to bother riding this now. They should have never done anything to Splash Mountain. They completely ruined a great ride for garbage. I agree with what Bob Iger reportedly said after riding it. This is really boring. I feel like it would have been cheaper to just fix Splash Mountain. Did I blink and miss the adventure part? What a disaster. The heart has been completely cut out. Disney did it again and destroyed a good thing. No conflict or tension. Wish we could have seen Tiana in her princess dress. The fact that this was approved is extremely concerning. Wow, Disney really ended Rossism once and all with this ride. Good job. And it keeps going. So there are no positives, folks. And so you are in the mainstream if you watch this in a moment and say, what is this garbage? You are
disagree
in the 99%.
I have to disagree with one of those comments that Disney tried to please everyone. I do not believe that. I do not believe for a second.
Not.
They were trying to please 5% or less of people when they did this. And if they wanted to please everyone, they would have simply said, hey guys, guess what we're doing? We're creating a brand new ride adventure for Tiana on the backside of Big Thunder or whatever, part of Fantasyland. I mean, that's what they would have done if they were trying to please everyone. And you could have had the story. You could have had Dr. Facilier. It would. I mean, I have thought so many times in my head how this could have been a great thing had it not been a redo of Splash Mountain. It's sorry.
You know, and I said to a friend just last night, I was like, why isn't this just a retelling of the movie the way every other dock ride is just a retelling of the movie? And then I realized it's because people don't like The Princess and the Frog. Even the people that are like, you know, even like the crazies out there don't like Princess and the Frog because they get on the high horse about that and they say, oh, well, you know, it's a movie about a black woman and she spends half the movie as a frog, not as a black woman. And that's been a criticism Disney has gotten. So I was like, oh, there was no way they were going to turn her into a frog in this ride or do the story of the movie.
Right,
so
which is why they didn't do a book report, which is what they call it when they retell the tale inside the attraction. But they chose to do something that is utterly contrived and boring. And folks, I just want to clarify too before we start the video. The reason I say that this is so bad, because some people out there are going to say, oh, come on, bro, this is not the worst thing. This is not worse than Gina. This is not worse. Here's why I say that. This attraction is likely to stand for 30 years. And this was their most iconic attraction, bar none. They are stuck with an abomination for 30 years, unless they pull a Harmonious and they pull this thing in 6 months to a year and spend another $100 million at both parks to fix it. Also, there's no way Tokyo will put this in their parks. That is gone. Tokyo would be insane, and they're not. Oriental Land Company is not going to put this in their Disney park, and that means that forever, as long as this is there, we'll have side-by-side comparisons. In fact, I bet some channels out there are going to do that real soon. Put a side-by-side comparison.
There's already side-by-side comparisons out there.
Well, you know, folks, and listen, that's going to be embarrassing. I may have to do a video on that soon. We'll see which channels will let us play theirs. Folks, we're to keep the audio off. We're doing a fair use here, Disney. We're gonna analyze your ride. We're gonna pause. We're gonna do everything that keeps us in simpatico with the rules, the regulations, and everything. Audio is off to keep us even more safe. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you're not missing anything with the audio off. There's nothing here worth listening to. If you don't believe us, go watch this after. There's not a single thing in this ride worth hearing. Here we go. All right, so we go up the normal lift hill. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking it might be nice to ride this ride like with your headphones in and like a YouTube video of Splash Mountain and just close your eyes and just imagine that you're back in Splash Mountain.
Well, the other thing too here is they've done this at night to give them the very best chance. And this actually may be early morning. It looks kind of early morning to me.
I think it was at night because I was there when they were recording this. Gotcha.
You saw them with the cameras out?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sun is in the west. So yeah. Okay. So they have to go along with the original track, but even this beginning part here is boring. Back in the days of Splash Mountain, you had fun music playing while you're going through here. This is really lackluster. Here's the other thing, guys. They do a cut there. I want to go back to this for a second. They do a cut here, and there's a reason they do a cut. And that's because Tiana doesn't do anything until the log arrives at her. And so it's really weird. So they do a cut there to hide that. And Tiana tells you
she's just standing there like completely still up until, oh my God.
And so Tiana, well, she may have some slight hand movements, but she tells you we got a party. That's the job of animatronic Tiana. This is where in Splash Mountain,
it's so awkward.
This is where in Splash Mountain you would have been introduced to, the idea that you're going into a little critter land. Guys, I want to show you two of the animatronics right now. You know they've been talking about. Oh no, we've got more animatronics than the 13 to 17 pro's been saying. Right? They've been saying that. Let me introduce you to animatronic Okra 1 and Okra 2, which have the ability to sway back and forth. They're less mobile than It's a Small World dolls. Ready? Oh, look at those animatronics. Look at them. Beautiful.
They could have at least gotten Oprah Winfrey there.
Why are the other plants not swaying? Why is it two random okra stalks?
Well, the okra just has to get down every once in a while.
Yeah, you got to get down with your bad okra self. Because there's no bluebird here, because there's no story. And folks, there's really no music to pay attention to here. This is it. Are we having fun, guys?
As I'm watching this, all I can see is all of Splash Mountain with some. I know people said Hobby Lobby, but I know the Hobby Lobby's philosophy, and I don't think Disney would shop there. So I'm going with Michael's on this. But they took all this plastic flowers and garbage from Michael's, and they just threw it on Splash, and you can see it. It's weird. It's really weird.
So there's no story happening here. There's no music even, except maybe some background, almost there playing on an old radio. That's it.
Was that a garbage can?
Yeah, you gotta have garbage cans for garbage. All right, so we go down here, and now we're gonna be in the area where we would meet Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and again, there's nothing. There's just nothing. Now we're gonna get a cluster of animatronics. But there's nothing.
We go to Pandora? We went to Pandora.
We are. We have arrived, folks. Look out for the Na'vi. They're about to show up any moment now. Who knew that the Bayou was so bioluminescent? All right, so we get Lewis, and he's going to gyrate like he has some sort of disorder, perhaps. And he's really moving. He is very expressive. His arms, they never stop. He's burning calories. He's like Richard Simmons. All right, so I want to stop here and look at this.
This part is, I'm worried about this, and you can tell me, but I'm very concerned that they want to take this band and actually replace the Country Bears with it down the road. It's just been a thought in my head. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't think anytime soon, Ron, because they're just replacing the Country Bear show now.
I'm thinking 5 years down the road. I think they want to see how successful this.
Well, watch this band though, guys. I want you to see the movements, because these are the animatronics that have been claimed to be high-end animatronics that should be counted. Take a look at the bottom right rabbit. I want everybody to watch the movement on the bottom right rabbit, and then replay this in a moment and watch the others. But the bottom right rabbit, watch the movement. Ready? We've got one wrist and one neck movement. Wow. And then you get Tiana, and she tells you, we got to find a band, even though we just found a band.
There's a band right in front of her.
Yep, we got to find a band. Now, guys, I'll tell you this, too. I think that once upon a time, the storyline was that you were trying to find a spice. That's why she's dressed the way she is. That's why the final song is that you're the secret spice. That was the original storyline. I think somebody decided they needed to change. Now, where all the animatronics once were, now we have projections of fireflies. And then they do a hard cut. They do that hard cut to hide more emptiness.
That looked like Living with the Land for half a second there.
It could be Living with the Land.
This is just an homage to all their older rides, except for Splash.
Maybe they could do a behind the scenes tour here, but they do a hard cut because there's nothing in between that and now, and they didn't want to show that. So hard cut.
This is the spot where Brer Bear was in the trap, right? I think
so. This is where if I'm not mistaken, this is where Brer Bear was pulling Brer Fox by the tail. I think this is where this is. Now, by the way, take a look. The little cat. Remember, he's a high-end animatronic. The little cat on the bottom. Watch his movements, folks. See how many movements he's got. Head and arm. That's it. The other one, he sways at the waist.
The snowman that my parents bought at Home Depot for Christmas last year to put out on the lawn has the same range of motion as these animatronics.
Yes, and we went from 70 plus high-end, really expertly made animatronics to bouncing fireflies. And again, with no memorable music whatsoever. But you can watch Tiana, who again is going to get a sensor cue to engage with the boat once it arrives, and otherwise she just sits there oddly.
I just want to throw up that Harry Potter clip where it's like, how dare you stand where he stood?
Notice how she's just swaying. She's just, until you arrive, she's just doing her thing. Now, censor. And she tells you again, hey, we gotta get a band. We're still looking for that band. Lewis, you got a band? Nope, I'm sticking my butt up at you. This is where we get into the just garbage territory, though. This is Mama Odie, who, for no good reason whatsoever, is going to shrink you. And again, a cut. But she's going to shrink you for no reason at all whatsoever. And you guys remember Laughing Place, where we had all of those animatronics and the turtles up on the fountains of water and all the little creatures? This is it. You got a frog, and that's the best you're getting today. Guys, thoughts on what they did to Laughing Place?
I mean, Laughing Place was fun. This is
another hard cut because there's nothing in that room.
The bees and I also think because there was a traffic jam there too, they wanted to cut out of there because they wanted you to see that the ride was basically stopped.
Well, it might have broken down again. You never know.
Yeah, probably. And this is
where all the joy was.
It's an existing ride system. There's no excuse for it to be breaking down as much as it's breaking down.
And again, you are shrunk down for no reason. The animatronics, again, replaced by screens. And Princess and the Frog is hand-drawn animation. What do we have here? CGI, Pixar-ified Tiana. And more bouncing firefly screens. You guys having fun yet?
Just oodles of fun. Just nonstop laughs. Fun for the whole family to enjoy.
Well, get ready because we're about to go up the lift hill where the vultures were. And now instead of the vultures, you get a screen. And the screen is Mama Odie telling you that she's going to make you big now. Again, after she made you little for no reason.
And that she understands mental illness.
Right. And now you're not going to be able to see what's going on because you're going to be staring into a light because they want to project this, because actually doing stuff in this tunnel was hard and expensive. So blind you instead is the way to go.
Now it's old Maelstrom.
Yep. And now Mama Odie tells you that you're going to make a big splash at the party. And that's the degree of drama and tension there is for the drop.
Yay,
now here's one of the worst sins of the ride. Now when you drop, you do not get a happy piece of music playing. It's just lightly playing Zydeco or
that's,
you know.
It's almost there. It's almost there without the lyrics, and it's just
gentle,
very light.
And so what that means is there's no buildup, there's no tension, there's no fear, and then there's no satisfaction at the bottom. It's not satisfactual.
Wasn't it a lot brighter out when the ride started as opposed to now? I don't think the sun set that fast. I think
they got embarrassed by the grimace comparisons.
They had, now I was out there. They did have, I wanted to say at least 3, if not 4 or 5 logs that just had the camera mount on the front. So this is probably clipped. Yeah.
And again, so one of the weaker parts of Splash Mountain was that once you did this, you had this empty space until you went into the Zippity Doo-Dah finale. They could have fixed that. They could have put some stuff here. They didn't because, well, that would be hard. So anything that was lackluster about Splash Mountain, which is, admittedly few, they didn't fix that, and they made everything else worse. In fact, I can't think of anything that's better about this ride at all. The animatronics might be more impressive, but just because you have an impressive animatronic of the few that you have, if they don't tell a story, what's the point?
Did that sign actually say, "Welcome, foolish mortals"?
Welcome, foolish tourists.
And then we get here where they're doing their finale, and it's a horrid song. It's, they're replacing Zippity Doo-Dah with "You're the Secret Spice." We did a video, or "You're the Special Spice." We did a video yesterday with Lorena Creole where we went through the lyrics. This is just pathetic in comparison to the iconic song. Folks, I wish I could play it for you here. Go listen to it. It's not memorable. You can't play this in the rest of the parks. Nobody's gonna listen to that and be like, oh yeah, good song. Nobody.
I mean, that's what's so funny is like up until 4 years ago, Zippity Doodah was literally used for almost every piece of advertising that Disney did.
Right.
That's how iconic of a song it was.
Guys, that's it. Mama Odie will be at the end. I don't get the infatuation. I don't get the attraction to Mama Odie, but apparently Imagineers just love Mama Odie because she's got maybe more animatronics than Tiana. I don't know, but she's got a bunch plus her little screen time. But here she is again. There's Mama Odie again, and really very little in reference to frogs at all. But there's Mama Odie and beignets, so you'll go buy a beignet. Guys, I think this is an absolute disaster for Disney. I think the backlash is going to be intense in ways that they have not experienced at the parks in a very long time.
Oh yeah,
and I think our warnings to folks over the last years have come true. Ron, I'm going to hand it to you to give me a review of the ride from what you just saw, and then Marvin, I'll let you do a review as well, please.
I mean, it just, for the most part, it just looks boring. I mean, I don't know. Was this ride made for everyone? Was it made for kids? Was it, or I mean, in my personal opinion, this looks like a ride that was only made for the Imagineers making it. That was like that.
I think it's the end of Carmen Smith, Ron. Carmen Smith is the woman who was over this. She's the head of DEI at Walt Disney Imagineering. This has got to be the end. They can't give her another project ever. What do you think, Ron?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Disney makes some weird decisions. That's all I can say. Like, I can't predict. There's no way to. The only thing to predict for Disney is like everything that they do is going to double down on what they've done that's bad. That's what it seems like lately, honestly.
Marvin, what's the reaction going to be, and what's your review of it?
Gosh, I mean, look, the reaction is going to be awful. You're going to get the usual suspects. I won't name them just for the sake of the channel, but you're going to get the usual suspects who are going to be like, "This is the greatest thing Disney's ever done."
You think so, though, Marvin? Because I think they may read the comments and they may get worried now.
There's one that I'm thinking of in particular who there's no way he says even a single negative thing about it, and you know, he's the OG and he's the biggest shill of them all, and he's gonna say that this is the single greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of ever.
Marvin, does this take away their ability though to call people who don't like it the bad word, because now there's so many that they just can't? Do you think that's gone away?
No, there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of shielding with that. And I think that might be why you get some of the shills not bashing it openly. Look, the people that Disney gives all the free stuff in the world, they're giving free cruises to and all this other stuff. They will find positive things to say about this, but I'm trying to think of anything like that they've done in the parks in the past that could be comparable to what they've done here. Like maybe when they replaced Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow with Now Is the Time. Maybe when they replaced Alien Encounter with Stitch's Great Escape.
Oh,
but
no.
That,
listen. Those are minuscule compared to Splash Mountain, though.
Yeah, nothing compared to what this is. This is just. It's dreck. It's soulless. It is.
Marvin,
and in the same week, Universal released the video of that Donkey Kong roller coaster ride contraption with the side. It looked incredible. It is just proof that somebody said to me, a lot of the Imagineers were pushed out the door from a lot of through a lot of different Disney changes that have happened, and they all went across town to Universal, and that's why we have Hagrid. That's why we have this Donkey Kong thing, Epic Universe, and the gap is just rapidly shrinking.
Well, Ron, you tell me, and apologies, Marvin, I didn't mean to cut you off. Ron, you tell me if this is a fair comparison. Marvin, you the same. This is like if Harmonious had replaced Reflections of Earth, but it did so with a permanent structure that could not be replaced.
Yes.
Times 2.
I have to go with it's worse than that. Honestly.
Maybe
because Splash Mountain was beloved. There was literally no controversy over Splash Mountain.
It's the most popular attraction according to polling in the entire world at any park, period.
Like, why would you want to create, like, if you're the head, I just can't get myself inside the head of anybody at Disney that said, we have an amazing, great attraction. Let's make the public hate it. I mean, that's so weird. Can't wrap my head around
optics. It's all optics. A couple people in their DEI, department were like, Splash Mountain is racist. Never mind the fact that there's not a single human being in the track. And a friend of mine was like, well, nobody knows what Song of the South is. I said, yes, that's the point. At that point, the Braz are basically the same as, like Figment, a Park specific character, which we have very few of anymore. And they're just getting rid of it all for the sake of IP. It's like they took Space Mountain and made it Strange Worlds.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And like I said, I think that this is definitely worse than just changing over a fireworks show.
All right, so let's do a review then. We need to give this a score. I just want to preface this by saying that I am not, negative about Disney every single time Disney does something. I have heard that the Country Bear redo is actually going pretty darn well. I gave X-Men 97 an 8.5 out of 10, which is very nice here on this channel. And there have been other things that we've, praised Disney on when they've gotten things right. I thought when they picked up Metalis for the upcoming Marvel show, I thought that was an absolute win. There's no way to spin it. It's a win. So when I give my score, understand, folks, it's coming from someone who tries to call balls and strikes appropriately. Ron, let's give you a first shot at this. You can do either scale of 0 to 10, or you can do the ABC, grading system. You be the judge how you want to do it. What would you give this attraction?
So just on the note that you gave, I would like to just say that I think, personally, this is my own personal feeling, I love Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I know other people are negative about it, but man, oh man, I'm totally okay with the re-theme on that. I do miss my nap time at Ellen's Energy Adventure, but I love Guardians. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the best things that they've done at Disney. Comparing that with how I'm going to feel about Splash, maybe 2.53. I don't know. I think my wife's going to love it, but she's like fun with that, and she doesn't go to the parks as often as I do.
Sure.
But yeah, I have no issue with differing opinions. I should say that.
I don't think there are many of those right now.
No,
but we're scrolling through the comments again. I'm telling you,
if they're out there, I'm just saying, look, somebody's going to love it. Great for you. That's okay. My opinion is 3 out of 10 at the best.
All right, Marvin, what say you?
Gosh, I mean, look, I'm with Ron in the fact that there's so much that I like. I mean, there's a reason why I go every time I go down to Orlando. It's, Guardians is wonderful. Rise of the Resistance is great, even though Rise of the Rebellion would have been a lot better. They just put in a new Talking Doug that I think is a cool idea, though if he's a roaming character, it's going to be a disaster. But anyway, that being said, and again, I don't have any problem with differing opinions because subjective opinions are just that, subjective opinions. And if you like this ride, I'm happy for you. I cannot like it. I would probably give it a 1 out of 10. And I think that 1 is only because it's going to kind of be funny to Mystery Science Theater 3000 this when I ride it with my friends. I could totally see, like, if I'm in a log with like families and stuff, I won't be like openly mocking it. But if there's that magical night where we can like get a log by ourselves, or it's all just people I know in the log, it's gonna just be nonstop jokes.
Are you gonna whistle zippity doo dah? I'm gonna whistle it every time I go by.
100%.
All right, here's my review score, folks. This has been a long time coming. We've told you essentially everything that was going to be in this attraction. We've nailed it. That's because we have tremendous sources, and we thank our sources, some of whom out there, folks, you would know, but we want to thank them for helping us be ahead of the culture curve and ahead of the Disney parks curve. So my score after all these years of talking about this may not surprise you given this video. It is a hard F, an F minus. And the reason that I'm going to be so harsh on this is this attraction was already there. All the good things in this attraction were already there. The drop was there. The drops were there. The water was there. The logs were there. Everything to do with this attraction that was positive, someone else did. And everything that they have added has diminished it. And I don't know how to score anything that diminishes another person's work as anything higher than an F minus. This is going to be a travesty for Disney, because this is going to make the other attractions have longer waits. Because if the average wait time for this ride is less than Splash Mountain, and it will be, then that means that all the other rides have to take up those crowd levels. And that's why I say that this might actually be bad enough that people will say, take it down, put something back up. If it's got to be Tiana, keep Tiana. But this is Harmonious level bad. This is got to spend another $100 million to fix it, because in the hot summer months, it might have an hour wait because people want to get splashed, and they'll call it Splash Mountain still. But in the non-summer months, this attraction could have a 30-minute wait time. This is not better than the Ariel attraction over in New Fantasyland.
No.
This is not better than Peter Pan. This is worse. So why is it going to have a wait that's anywhere close to those? It's not.
The Ariel attraction has some cool moments in it, despite the fact that it's kind of lackluster. Like this has not one cool moment.
Yeah, there's not a single reason to ride this other than if it's hot, you want to get splashed. Maybe you want to ride it one time, but after that, that's over.
At the end of the day, you want to get splashed. It's great. You want to get splashed, go over to Storybook Circus, walk through Casey Jr. Like
that's right, folks. Hey, all right, well, all good things must come to an end. Apparently, that's what they decided when it came to Splash Mountain, but that's what we are deciding in this video, folks. Go check out Ron Bradley of Follow the Bradleys Fun and Marvin the Movie Monster over at Tooneytown Wrestling and Tooneytown TV. And folks, we will continue to cover the backlash that's going to happen, including more stuff and creative content that you might not be expecting from the channel regarding Tiana's Bayou adventure. It gives me no joy to slam this attraction. I still held out hope, and I have said this in many videos, that they would deliver something that would at least be somewhat fun, simply because who in the world would ever want families to ride a ride and not have a good time? So I've always hoped that they would give us something. But folks, we can't coat this in sprinkles or the powdered sugar of beignets. This is a sad day. This attraction sucks. Spend $100 million, take it back down. If you keep it Tiana, fine. Plus this, because it's not good. It's not good. All right, folks, like, share, subscribe. Tell YouTube that this video is good. And drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Specifically, folks, I would love to hear from you. How long until Disney takes away the comment section from that video? How long until they disable the dislikes? It's going to get ratioed to the moon. All right, folks, we will see you so soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Floral, it's time for you to walk the plank.
What? Why?
Because you haven't subscribed to WDW Pro yet. Nor bookmark thatparkplace.com on your web browser to get great articles from great contributors.
What?